Soul Edge. Nice try, kid. You're not gonna get to play. There's too many big kids in the room. And there will be for the entire weekend.
But
Buzz
you can
up.
play Soul Edge all you want. It's
Right.
not free play like Street Fighter is and has all the big kids hogging it. But you can play it whenever you want.
Right, the Street Fighter arcade where you see like Ryu, but he's like he's like his muscles are bouncing and it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't get to play that at all.
No, yeah, they had like Street Fighter Super Duper Alpha Pooper
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, the coolest possible looking Street Fighter. Oh my god, my camera is traveling. I've got a
Oh no!
I've got traveling
Look at all
webcam.
look at all those tangleds.
Yeah, no, there's way too many tangleds. We're a bit tangled today. But you know what? It's part of the fun, right? Part of the fun. Here on Thingus. Post Magfest edition. We're home. That's right. We made it home.
That's right. We were there.
We were there. We didn't make a big deal out of it. We were cool about it.
Of course we were cool. Of course it's no big deal that we're cool.
No. No. Why would it be? No, we didn't recap Magfest yet, Gabby. We
Nah.
didn't in the first 30 seconds of the show. We haven't gotten to it yet. Do you have something you want to start with off the bat there?
I'm just looking at my notes and see if I can try to work them into our conversations.
Getting very organized right from the start.
Well, what do you want to talk about first? There's so many things to talk about.
There's lots of things to talk about. Well, we could talk about Magfest.
Magfest
Magfest.
was this past weekend.
Mag fun.
Magfest. Fun as last time, but more fun because we had more time to run around and fuck around.
That's true. There was more fuckery this time. I was worried that Magfest wouldn't hit like it did last year because I was afraid. Oh my god, my camera is not on me at all. What will I do?
I wish you could see what's going on over there with the camera. She's like twisting the camera and tangling the cables even more.
I'm making it so much worse. All right, I'm gonna see what I can do here. Why don't you talk about Magfest while I fuck around?
Okay, well, Magfest was... It's, you walk around, there's people everywhere, they have shrines to Danny DeVito, there's some lines. There's a line to the elevator, there's a line to the food, but there's no line to meet famous people. And that's my favorite part about the show, is that there's no there's no famous fuckers. I mean, there were some people, there are famous people there sometimes who like perform, and that's cool though.
Yeah.
Like Nobuo Matsu was there once.
Yeah, they're like basically pretending to be civilians until they get on stage.
But everyone is a civilian. But if everyone's a civilian, then that means that everyone is somebody.
That's right. And that's how it always is at MagFest. And there are many endless opportunities throughout the hall, throughout this hotel, which, unfortunately we never quite forget it's a hotel. Like there were, I'll get to it, but there were a few times where I was like, God damn it, I wish it didn't feel this much like it was a hotel.
Yeah.
But there are so many opportunities. Like there are basically just designated areas where if you want to like bring your musical instruments, if you want to bring your little performance, you just plunk down there and you're totally within your rights to to show us what you got. Did we meet Tar? You fucked it up. You said meet Tar with MEAT. No, we didn't meet Tar, but I feel like well, no, the thing is, Tar doesn't go to MagFest until Tar has to go to MagFest.
Tar?
Okay, so there's a movie. You can all mute it if you don't want to find out what happens at the end of Tar. About a very well regarded.
Do you think you're better than me?
Oh, sorry. Meredith explains the plot.
There's a very well regarded.
Spoilers ahead.
Right, this lets you know. Very well regarded composer, conductor, and who plays her? Tilda Swinton. And she's a bitch. She's a big bitch. And throughout the movie, she alienates Kate Blanchett. Thank you. She alienates everybody. She alienates people in her personal life and her professional life. She alienates her students. And things don't go great for Tar. The movie ends with Tar conducting a video game orchestra to a bunch of people in costumes. And it's a punchline.
Right. You've mentioned this before. It's like the bitch becomes the video game composer, and it's like that's so her, right?
Well, it's just what's left for her. It's what's left for you, and you know, it's a fun little like, you know, tour you get to take of like the world of like, you know, classical music and like you know, specific like academic music careers like that, and how like if you fuck it up, then there's nothing left for you except like performing soundtracks of video games.
Yeah, well, yeah, like does anyone still make classical music, like new classical music?
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult to do and very competitive.
Yeah.
And nobody cares except
nobody cares. It's like if you tell people you're like a historian or a philosopher, nobody cares.
Well, nobody cares about anything that you do. I've been thinking about this a lot because
nobody really cares. Right?
No. I mean, people used to care if you made video games.
Nobody seems to notice.
Nobody seems to care.
You made a whole video game by yourself and nobody played it.
I mean, yeah, it's like no matter what you do, it falls on deaf ears, right? That's kind of what the times we're living in right now. Not so at MagFest. Well, the thing is that MagFest is the great equalizer, right? So if you're a genius at MagFest, fuck you. No, you're not. You're conducting video game symphonies or you're getting out. And that's like, you know, that's the vibe there. And look, I don't want to live in the world of MagFest. I want to go to MagFest for a weekend and then go home and be a famous genius. But you can't really do that anymore. So I'm satisfied at very least to, you know, play in the playground of MagFest for the weekend and then go home and try to figure out what the fuck my life is now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we all must do.
Except there were some people there that were just like working on their game right there. Mm-hmm. I think you might have been one of them.
I was working on my game. So I won't say exactly what I was doing, but at some point I said bye to you and I realized like I hadn't been alone in you know in days.
Yeah.
And I just like sat in the lobby with my laptop and wrote. And it was, you know, it was so loud in the lobby. People were like talking and screaming and doing like the loud nerd voice, you know. And it was so loud that I had perfect concentration. And I just sat there and I had a very productive writing session for about 2 hours.
Nice.
It was great.
Wow. But you say that you had focus in the loudness. It was so loud that you were focused.
Yeah, it was like white noise, but like I guess purple noise. It's like all the different costumes.
It's like lunchroom ambience.
Yeah, exactly. A bunch of kids screaming. Yeah, it was perfect. Perfect writing ambience. I think I'll put that on. Like, I'll find some recordings of like the closed circuit cameras at MagFest.
Yeah.
Just listen to that while I'm working.
Yeah. You could totally use that. You can sample that for something.
Yeah. It'll be like, obviously.
There was so much of that at the show, like kind of like in GTA 3 when you pass people and they're just like, "Watch it, asshole."
Oh my God, yeah. I wish I could remember them, but I heard the most NPC ass shit coming out of people's mouths.
It was like even if we remembered exactly what they were saying, you wouldn't believe us.
No,
because it sounded like it sounds scripted. It sounds made up.
Exactly. But yeah, just
it's like in Wall-E. It's like none of the episodes are any good.
Yeah, right. Like I said to her, you can't do that.
Oh, and there was one that was almost identical to and they were roommates. I heard someone they were living together too, or something like exactly.
Oh my God, they were living together. Yeah, no, I loved it. I was perfectly content at MagFest, comfortable.
And people are overhearing us too. They overheard us talking about the Seventh Heaven bar.
Yeah, that's
from Final
right.
Fantasy.
Yeah, that's right. Some nice Dorcas chimed in. Oh, chiming in is a national pastime at MagFest.
Yeah.
Right. So you hear someone talking about something you know a thing or two about. Go ahead and chime in.
Yeah.
Even I'll be nice to you about it. I actually, there was a point where I went over to some smokers and chimed in with them, and they weren't very friendly to me.
Yeah,
I must say.
Huh.
I think maybe it was like a group of 4 really large guys,
no.
and also they were smoking cigarettes and I was smoking weed, so maybe I shouldn't have shot that particular shot.
Yeah.
But other than that, every single time someone chimed in with me or I chimed in with them, it was perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
It's it's the dream of every nerd who's standing in a store talking loudly to somebody else to make sure that the girl on the other side of the store can hear them. Everyone does that, and you're allowed and encouraged to do that at MagFest.
Yeah.
Yeah, cigarette dudes. Cigarette dudes weren't nice to the stoner girl. She's trying to be nice. They probably regretted it after I left. They're like, where'd she go?
Some guy got his revenge.
Some guy's revenge. I got froze out. Amazing.
Where with some guy we wormed our way in.
We wormed our way in. Yeah. Did we worm? Oh, we wormed. We wormed at this show. Oh, yes, we did. Last time we wormed our way into weed. This time, we wormed our way into alcohol. I feel very bad about this one. I went to a hotel party. I don't know whose room it was, and I don't know why, but I grabbed one of their Cliff Bars and just ate the whole fucking thing.
Meredith, I'm pretty sure all of those snacks were out because it was a party.
I don't think so. I think those snacks were there because those people were living in that room. There was a person sleeping in the bed while we were hanging out in that room.
True.
It was probably her Cliff Bar.
I'm pretty sure that you were supposed to eat that Cliff Bar.
All right. Well, look, I feel guilt about it. And if anybody knows whose Cliff Bar it was, please let me know so that I can mail them a Cliff Bar plus interest.
Everyone tell Meredith it's okay.
Oh, we wormed ourselves into more than one hotel room. One with an atrium view.
Yeah.
We got to see the view.
Well, that's how I was able to get that amazing shot. I faked a shot of me throwing a dog off of a balcony because I was able to shoot from up there in that balcony room.
Yeah.
I didn't actually throw it, but everyone thought it was real.
A lot of people were convinced. Some very, very sweet people had us up to their rooms, and they were all lovely. It was so fun to meet them and hang out with them. And let's see, we went to the Bit Brigade concert.
Yeah,
that was really fun. Watched them play Super Mario World. They did a heavy metal live rendition of Super Mario World while somebody played. What else was fun? I mean, there was just like you said, the triangle of the indie arcade, and the arcade and the PC museum. Just beautiful machines.
My God, the arcade the museum was even better this year because they had an arcade in it too.
Yeah.
So like there was on one side there was old consoles like Pong, and in the middle there was old PCs, and on the sides there were arcades. It was beautiful. It was even more beautiful than last time.
It was so lovely. Oh yeah, Gabby, I know the pretzel chocolate sandwiches you're talking about. Some genius melted a bunch of chocolates inside pretzels. And, I broke veganism because I was just too curious. I had to try one of those. And it was very, very delish. And it was like too much chocolate, too. It was like, I want to say a centimeter's worth of chocolate. Am I off there? It was a very thick piece of chocolate, right? In between two of those, like, waffle pretzels, square waffle pretzels. Great idea. I don't know who came up with that, but really, really good. Just one of the many things I wormed my way into. Oh, it was great. I would sit down at a table by myself and then realize I was next to somebody I wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
And then all their friends would be there, and I'd just have like a 30-minute conversation with some people, some brand new people. Met so many new people.
Couple people recognized you, right?
Oh yeah. A few people called me out by name, and you were quite recognized.
Yes.
You were walking around with the dog.
Well, yeah. Last year I was still kind of like coming out of my isolation phase, so I didn't want to talk to anybody. But this year I was feeling a little bit more friendly, so I brought this with me. It's a prototype for a plush toy that just went on sale yesterday. And you could buy this on Makeship, and that's what I've been saying all weekend, because people come up to me and it's like dog of wisdom, or they just like ba ba ba, and I make the voice back at them, and some
then
of
they
them
get scared.
Some of them are like, where'd you get that? So like, I would tell them it's a prototype, and then they'd be like, wait, Joe? It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's me. And some people would just like tap me on the shoulder and say, are you Joe Gran? I'd be like, bah. And like they were, one person was like, are you Joe Gran? I was just like, yes. And he's like, hi, Joe Gran. Like people don't know what to do when it's me, but like, it's easier to approach this because like they don't know it's me at first, so they're able to just like do the voice and be like, ha ba ba.
Yeah, no, it really was it was a good icebreaker, and a good glue. It's like you already knew each other by the time you got to talking.
Let's play something else.
Yeah, we got Saturn. We got the Sega Saturn, and we got some CDs for it. Got the real thing here. Let's have fun. Yes, it was a little like Joe was a mascot at Disneyland. You feel like you've seen more people talk about Joe because of the Wacky Lesbian Hour cartoon. Yeah, that was that really surprised me. I watched that cartoon and there was a shout out to you. And I think like I am still comprehending the scale of Joe's influence as his sister who doesn't fully pay attention to what he's up to. I'm still learning just how many people came up with Joe, and in their heart of hearts wish they could do what Joe is doing, and they'll never escape him. They'll never be able to shake that influence in their lives. He's just gonna haunt them like a friendly ghost.
Boo. Yeah, I mean, that's what it was like when I saw that joke in that cartoon. It's like, boo.
A little boo for you. Yeah. They're not making new indie animators. At least, not ones that anybody is like massively paying attention to. I don't know. Maybe you know these things better than I do, but it kind of seems like every generation there's one or two that stick. And the rest, I don't know, are eating that one guy's lunch.
Yeah.
You've had your lunch eaten for a while now.
Yeah.
Acclaim. Our friends. They're from Long Island, so they're our friends.
Well, in what way has my lunch been eaten? You mean people have just like attached themselves to me?
They're trying to draw like you.
Yeah.
Trying to do it like you.
Yeah, that's true. There are people who try to draw like me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. What I'm saying is Joe is the new Walt Disney. That's right.
I mean, I say with no irony that this is Mickey Mouse. It's the same exact color palette for one
Right.
thing.
That's true.
I do the voice like he did.
Yeah. Wait, Walt Disney did Mickey's voice?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, listen to that voice. It's not professional or anything. Oh, hey, Pluto, it's me, Mickey Mouse. Oh. Sucks.
Right. A professional voice actor is never the right call for a character like that, right? Although, do you know what's his name? Charles, who's the Mario guy? Charles
Martinet.
Martinet. What did he do before Mario? Do you know?
I'm not really familiar with his career before Mario.
Mario being like, you know, the bridge Mickey, right? The Mickey of the 1990s.
Sure, yeah. Mickey, although he had a different voice up until like 2000 until 1996.
Oh, really? He's not well.
Well, Charles Martinet started doing him in maybe like 94 or something, maybe a
Right.
little before Mario 64.
Okay.
Because there was like some demo from before the N64 came out of like him performing a 3D Mario head puppet. It's pretty cool. I really like that. Also, he was pretty big on Vine back in the day. He would just like have Mario characters like plushies like
Really?
Luigi. And like, oh my god, this looks great. All right, do you want to fight?
Yeah, I'll fight. Fight.
But yeah, before that, he was voiced by Lou Albano, right?
Oh, really?
He was like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
don't do drugs or you go to hell before you die.
Right. In the TV show. You're right.
No, yes.
Street Fighter the movie, the game.
There is no data to load.
No.
No.
Read this?
Yeah, like that is not something that Street Fighter ever did. It never have, like, I remember playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo when I couldn't even read.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta go with Bison.
Gotta be Zang Beef. What are we doing?
What
now?
is it asking of us? Oh, it wants us to choose the stage.
Ah.
You, it's yours. I think. Maybe
No,
it's
we're
me.
just choosing like our hard level.
We're choosing.
Yeah, I think it's you. Alright.
Wait, did you hit start?
I hit start.
Okay, then it was you.
Do we know anything about MomoCon? No, I'm afraid not. I've never been. That's like an anime show?
Is it a con for Momo?
Oh man, Zangief doesn't look big enough. He looks like normal
he's a real
human size. Yeah, he looks like Natty Achievable, to be honest. He looks like you could get that without steroids.
I think it's strange that the controller I'm using has two triggers, but no games seem to use them. Do you have triggers on your controller?
You mean the buttons on top?
The left and right.
Oh, I've got two. Yeah.
Like,
They're not
stop killing me for a minute. Can I see what it looks like?
Look how wet his knees
Oh, I see.
are.
Okay, so yours has buttons, but look at mine. They're like triggers.
Oh, wow.
Which
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this is like ahead of its time.
Wow, yeah.
Like it's got like new like new modern style trigger Viv gives.
I'm loving these poses.
Me.
Like, look at that pose. I make that pose to like stretch out my legs in the morning.
Kill attack.
Oh, I see. They kind of use the same graphics when you get like burned to a crisp.
Yeah, that still looks like a drawing. Oh fuck.
Whoopsie.
Zangief.
Zangief.
That's how you're actually supposed to pronounce it.
No, not true. Not correct at all.
That's true. It's Zangief.
No. I refuse.
Okay, you don't have to stop saying Zangief, and I obviously didn't.
No. See, like, this game is not what anybody asked for. Nobody was asking for, like, less of how they imagined all of this, you know? More realism in Street Fighter.
I was thinking about this morning how the villain in Earthbound has like 20 different possible pronunciations. It's like...
What's his name?
I thought it was Gygus, but it might be Gigas, but that's just the North American one. And then like in Mother 3, it's Geeg, and in Japanese, it's Geeg, and or like Gigu. And it's like, there's like, I've already listed like 7.
Yeah, no, none of those. Gygus sounds right.
Gygus sounds right. That's what I thought it was originally, so that's what I'm gonna keep saying.
That sounds like the bad guy from a video game, from an RPG from the 90s.
Well, yeah, because it's like the localized version of the name.
Oh, did I street battle? Is this gonna let us both play?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm finding this game hard to figure out, and it's fully in English. Oh, is this just me? All right. Oh, no,
I think
we're both
I
here.
hit start and I can play.
I hate how there's 2 dots and you're only filling one of them. Very confusing.
Yeah, what is the other dot about?
What's the other dot about? CD-based games and their loading time.
Yeah, that's why the reason you got this is so you can play this game that's never looked like this, and then like the price you pay is it loads.
It loads, yeah. But like, I just like I don't like maybe in the movie it wouldn't bother me that these people have like normal human proportions, but like I want Chun-Li to look fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like her legs need to look enormous.
Yeah, they need to be too long.
Yeah. And thick.
Well, you probably could make a live action movie that does stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, you could just have like people who enhance their bodies play the characters, but those are not usually the same people who are going to be good at acting. But who cares, right?
Well, yeah, I was thinking like you could do it like with Hagrid. You could have a guy who's like 9 feet tall,
Yeah.
and then like you show him for far away shots, and he has like an animatronic head.
Right, they'd all have stunt doubles. You could get the girl from Love Lies Bleeding to be in a movie like this. There's got to be enough really buff people on TikTok who could star in a movie like this and have insane looking bodies.
Although, wouldn't they just opt to use CG?
Yeah, I mean, right. You couldn't even make this movie anymore, so let alone cast it. Spider Babby is raiding with a party of 16. Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to Thingus with Joe and Mare. Painful, isn't it? But almost pleasurable.
Yeah, Cammy is American, right? She's like the female Guile.
Yeah, she hangs out with Guile, right?
I think.
Well, if they're from the same country, I guess they still have to fight.
Yeah, they have to fight.
Is it about representing your country in the street fight?
Yeah, until it isn't. Until it's just about you.
Until it's you versus your own country.
I think it's just where they come from, and for some reason they're fighting each other. Like it's all very formally arranged so that they're traveling to other countries to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Street Fighter aesthetic of like someone who's like kind of in between a superhero and a normal person.
Oh, am I playing? You're playing against the computer.
I am.
I think.
Oh yeah, hit start.
It's okay. You can play against the computer.
No, you can just hit start though.
Oh, really?
And join.
Oh, she's played by an Aussie in the movie. I see. Ken. Oh my God, Blanca looks terrible. Well, let's be him. Wait, you're saying I can't press a button and change his color?
I wonder what this little slider thing on my controller does.
Kemi is played by Kylie Minogue? Really?
Who is that?
She's a musician, right? You show me lights, don't stop me.
I guess she's a fan of Street Fighter.
Or maybe I'm thinking, maybe I've got my names crossed. Yeah, maybe.
That doesn't look like Blanca at all.
Oh my God, no! It looks like Carrot Top. Show the lights, don't stop me. Turn to stone, just running when I'm gone. And so I tell myself that I'll be strong in evening. And I know, 'cause they're falling. Yeah, no, he looks terrible. Why is he wearing those
He
shorts?
looks like David Cross as Ronnie from Mr. Show. Ronnie! Is it really you? Yeah, what do you call this art style?
You mean like where you superimpose photos on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure there is a name for
This
it.
technique is, yeah, it's like, I guess digitized is what I usually think of.
Is it in the aesthetic repository?
Oh, it should be.
It should be, right?
There's like Clay Fighter, there's Killer Instinct. They all fit into this of like actual pictures of something or a
Yes.
3D model.
Yeah, no, right. You would include like Donkey Kong Country in that.
Yeah. Donkey Kong Country has like a really organic look to it, so it still counts even though it's CG.
His scaling is all different too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Close. The guy in the background.
I know the photos. La 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 la. She's got like a little bit of a like old lady sounding voice. La la la. Like a little smoky. I don't know how much more of this I could take.
What, this game?
This game.
Yeah, we can move on. Let's play some Daytona.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's basically just Street Fighter, right? It's
Yeah.
not too different.
No, not too different.
But with like Mortal Kombat looking graphics.
Mortal Kombat
yeah, that's another
looking graphics.
Round one, fight.
Well, what happened other than MagFest? Other than MagFest, nothing worth reporting. I think everybody spent the week miserable on online, right? Is that fair to say? It's been a week of fuckus. Let's see if I wrote anything down here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like people say let's not turn Blue Sky into Twitter too, and then they do it. Like, I feel like I only want to hear news from the news. I don't want to hear the endless news stream of opinions.
Yeah.
Not that I don't care about people's opinions. I just don't like seeing it forced out of people.
Right. Well, like, yeah, people who like otherwise wouldn't have expressed an opinion coming out and expressing one.
Yeah.
And well, yeah. I mean, I haven't even seen a lot of opinions. I've just seen people panicking and telling each other what to do.
Yeah.
You know, just bad distressed behavior.
Yeah.
America's a scam. America's a scam. They do absolutely nothing for their people, and a whole new slew of executive orders designed to make people feel like they can count on their government for even less, if not that they'll be facing outright hostility. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. But this song will always be great. This is another like sit in the arcade and listen to this for 2 hours kind of song, right?
Because no one's playing it. Or someone's playing it, but not all of them. So
right.
You can't get you can't get everyone to play Daytona with you.
Right, but you would have had you would have had like 4 of these going at the arcade. Ooh.
What's Saturn mode?
I love that it just lets you figure it out.
Well, I guess that works if we're doing 2 people, right? Or can we even play with two players?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh well, you go ahead. We'll see after this what arcade mode does.
Well, yeah.
Take down now.
Okay, so I'm rolling start. I've never been a big Sega fan, but I've had this explained to me by a big Sega fan.
Okay.
There is a blue sky in all of their games. Why? I guess it just looks good, but like
their branding.
It is the lyrics of this song, or one of the songs in this game, that they mention the blue sky.
It's kind of like Pepsi, right? We've talked about how Sega is Pepsi.
Yeah, Nintendo is definitely Coca-Cola.
And it's red.
Yeah, they're the Republican Party.
Yes. And Sega is the Pepsi generation. They're the new guys coming in.
I'm Sonic, and I vote blue.
no matter who.
And then it's just like Robotnik is their candidate.
Yes. Eggman.
He's nice now.
It's nice now. Vote for him. Vote for Jim Carrey dressed as Eggman.
I would vote for Jim Carrey. Like, what if he just like ran against Trump, dressed as Trump, doing a Trump impression and won?
I think that could work. Unfortunately, I think Jim Carrey's too prone to depression for that.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be happy. Also, he's Canadian. He can't be president. It's like having a Canadian husband is
cool.
not super different than having a Jewish mother. If they are, you'll find out. What if President Jim Carrey went insane and became President Andy Kaufman? Right, he would get lost in the role.
Yeah.
And then he would torment everybody with it. It's happened before, it'll happen again.
So was that where his career kind of took a turn, or took a pause?
Yeah, that's where as I understand it, where things went downhill. He was in Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
And he decided to method act as Andy Kaufman. And they were making a documentary about it on the set. And it was meant to be used to promote the movie.
Okay.
And Jim Carrey got so into the Andy Kaufman thing, he would not let anybody refer to him as anything but Andy. And he tormented people on set with this method acting he was doing. And the people making the documentary at some point realized, like, we can't release this. It looks terrible. and it was years later that it was released as part of a documentary about what the fuck happened to Jim Carrey. It was kind of his, the beginning of his return. Like, oh man, this guy had a few hard years. I think perhaps his father died too. There were a few things that went wrong in Jim Carrey's life, and he made some very, very bad choices about movies to star in. Like, very, very bad. The number 28. Have you ever seen it?
Oh right. No, I haven't seen it. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. It's really, really terrible.
Number 28. Yeah.
It's unfortunately is not fun to watch as movies I would consider in the same genre, such as The Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Also, just fucking stupid. Unfortunately, not very fun. He was hot in that movie. You may be right. It's been a while since I saw it. I don't remember what. Look, Jim. I think I've always liked Jim Carrey. Even when I was 7 years old. He was the only celebrity whose name I knew.
Yeah. The only one you need to know.
Yeah. He never did a cartoon voice, did he?
Yeah, he did. He did Horton, Here's a Who.
Oh. Ugh.
Yeah, why didn't he do any other cartoons?
Wait, did he play Horton?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it was not very good.
Horton is the level-headed character.
He wasn't good as Horton.
No, you got to see him. He's a physical comedian.
Well, he did a Jim Carrey thing, but it was like weird for Horton to do a Jim Carrey thing.
Yeah, no. Horton is such a gentle, peaceful soul. He doesn't have chaos in his heart.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's not as chaotic as Jim Carrey made him.
You don't think you could ever find Jim Carrey hot? Have you ever seen him in Eternal Sunshine? He's a real good, greasy Long Island guy in that movie. They're both great. They're both hot in that movie.
Yeah.
Him and Jesus Christ, what's her name? Help. Mayor of Easttown, Rose DeWitt Bukater. What the fuck else has she been in? 2 movies from 30 years apart.
Oh, brother. This game's hard.
Kate Winslet, yeah.
Yeah, I remembered it, but I didn't want to tell you.
Oh, it's so great. It's so great. It's such a perfect movie of its age, right? Eternal Sunshine. Because she's like the subversion of the manic pixie dream girl, because she you see more than the outer edges of that character. He sees through her, and she hates that about him.
It says one player.
One
The
player?
box.
Oh, the box says one player?
One player.
That's okay. I'm perfectly content to watch. Oh, man.
Okay.
Let's just hear this song for a few minutes. Let's hear it for 30 minutes. I don't know if I saw your message, Convex Noise, now. It's not that sexual for you because Jim Carrey looks like your brother in Eternal Sunshine. That's really funny. He's like in Eternal, when I think about like if I had stayed on Long Island, if I'd like spent all of my 20s in Long Island, I would have dated a guy like Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine. I would have had some boyfriend that I met on the Long Island Railroad. And then went to the beach with him. And
he desperately tries to forget you.
Yeah, no, he does. He pays a lot of money. He pays the big bucks to forget you. Oh, you donated. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm glad the stream is cheering you up, and thank you for showing your appreciation. That's really sweet. you had a romanticized idea of Montauk from Eternal. See, like Eternal Sunshine doesn't really make Montauk to be that out to be that beautiful. I mean, I suppose, yeah, it's the place they meet. It's the end of Long Island. It's the last stop on the train, but it's cold, and the reality behind the story of how they meet is kind of a distortion, right? You see a few versions of it. You kind of realize that he's actually like in another relationship when he meets her. Like it all kind of becomes ruined when you get enough perspective on it. Montauk is just cold. He's there with his friends who are fighting, right? David Cross and I forget who.
David Cross is in the movie?
Yeah, he's a minor role, but he's one of Jim Carrey's friends. And there's a great little exchange where he's like, his girlfriend is like snipping at him, and he's like, "I'm making a birdhouse."
Yeah, David Cross has a lot of guys in movies that like appear for a minute.
Oh my God, David Cross in Ghost World. I know I've talked about this so much on the show.
Yeah, I knew that. I was thinking about that.
I love him in Ghost World. It's so good. Oh, God damn it. There's a seat.
Yeah, like I think like with Tobias too, like he just knows these people he hates so much, and like has like lived around people he hates so much. Like I guess in Atlanta and LA, right?
Yes. Well, yeah. The thing is, he's not afraid to become a totally detestable character.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of actors shy away from being totally disgustingly detestable.
Yeah.
And David Cross doesn't. I'm trying to think who else I would classify as that. It's usually a bald comedic actor.
I mean, Adam Sandler played a guy in Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, pretty rats.
A fucker guy.
It's true. Ricky Gervais, when he was at his best, just played a like repulsive character. No, I love that. I love when someone plays a horrid little man.
A horrid little man, yeah, just like Thingus Hero. What's his name again?
Shit.
You know, The Thing. Big fan of Blackadder.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were talking about Blackadder.
It's like Rowan Atkinson or something.
Is he played by Rowan Atkinson? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. It's been a very long time since I saw that show. Harvey Keitel in Bad Lieutenant, would you say is a horrible little man?
Harvey Keitel in Bad Lieutenant?
Never
I don't
seen
know
it.
A horrid little man. I mean, if you ever seen Peep Show, Mark Corrigan is a horrible little man.
Basically, like it's a whole genre for British comedic actors.
It's very British, sure, yeah.
Steve Coogan is a very horrid little man as Alan Partridge. Like it almost like, oh God, I want you to watch Alan Partridge. He's been playing this character for like 30 years at this point.
Yeah.
And like at every period in his life, he is another horrid version of Alan Partridge. Like he's like this just terrible talentless media personality, total coward, and he just keeps getting these shitty little jobs where he, just esteemed enough that he can feel superior to other people in his shitty town. He's just awful. He sucks, and he's, you just know that his breath smells like terrible, like his breath smells sour. He's horrid.
Yeah, what's his name? Basil Fawlty, another horrid British man.
What does he do?
John Cleese in Fawlty Towers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta crack some of that open.
That's a funny show, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I just keep returning to the same 5 American TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also love a horrid woman, but it's not. The horrid women are not little. though. They're too
They're
big.
big.
They're too big. Like Laura Dern is a horrid big woman.
What
There's got to be a
about
better term for that.
what about Lucy? Is she horrid?
No, Lucy's too darling.
Yeah.
I feel like she's sweet. Like we
Yeah.
want to like her.
Yeah.
Lena Dunham plays a terrible troll of a woman. Lisa Kudrow plays she's not your nightmare. Like Laura Dern is the ultimate I'm your nightmare. Like
Yeah.
you didn't want me and here I am and I'm your best friend.
I mean, yeah, Jim Carrey seems like kind of a train wreck of a person, but you want him.
Yeah. No, there's always something redeeming about him. He has a sadness in his eyes that
Yeah.
you know, like
He's not horrid.
no.
He's just a
he ha-
nightmare. He's just chaos.
Yeah.
Which is, something I'm always looking out for.
Yeah. Any chaotic bitches want to ruin my life? Yeah, no, Catherine Keener plays terrible women for sure.
I'll get my life ruined and I'll be like, oh. Like the
Ow.
red guy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mm. Oh, this is such pleasant life ruining.
Yeah, I have to think of the female equivalent of a horrid little man. There's got to be a good term for it.
Just a wicked witch.
A crazy daisy.
Well, because in Blackadder, he kind of evolves into Zazu over the series, but at the beginning, he's a very horrid little man. Right? He's just like I've got a brilliant scheme, and like it goes so awry, and he's like such a coward, like no, like it's like well, I won't spoil it. It's worth watching,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the character. He's a wuss, and then to his like two subordinates, he's an asshole.
Oh yeah, right. I think that's an important part of the horrid little man.
Yeah.
Is that there is at least one person who suffers under him.
Yeah, Baldric is his little guy. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, here's my Baldric.
Yeah, Alan Partridge has a personal assistant who, like, half of the time you're pretty sure she's not getting paid. It's good stuff. Oh man, we could listen to this all day.
It's pretty good.
What should we do now?
Well, we got Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider.
We got Clockwork Knight. We got Myst. And we also have that cartridge if you want to check that out.
Oh yeah, the cartridge has lots of
You
games
wanna
on it.
explore.
Yeah, let's see what's on there. All kinds of fun.
All kinds of crond.
Daytona. Yeah, there is a Myst for Sega Saturn. I've never tried it. I imagine it's very frustrating, as all console-based point-and-click adventure games are. I've got a point-and-click adventure game for you.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yours.
I will be commencing playtesting in 2 weeks. I am roughly 2 weeks, around mid-February. And that means that within a week, I am. Let me see what the calendar actually is. Within a week, I will begin recruiting for this playtest, which I'm very excited about.
Cool.
I have been literally dying for
Yes.
people to see what I've been working on. Okay, so February 15th is a Saturday, so I'm gonna say it's either going to commence on the 14th or the 17th. 14th seems like people will be busy, but if they're not, I have a game for them. Yeah, probably the 17th. They're probably like the weekend, right? Gonna start playtesting. if you're interested in doing that, I will post an invite in the Thingus Discord, or actually, I'll post. Where should I post this? Oh, right. God, this looks like shit. This looks so fucking bad.
Yeah, this is
Crundical to the max. You know what? I'll post a. I'll post on. I'll post it on social. But I'll come to my Discord, and I'll post on the Thingus Discord about it too. Come to my Discord to be invited into the pool, and it doesn't matter if you've ever play tested before or not. I want both. There are people who did the first run who I'd like to come back. I've got more for them. And there are people who I want to experience it totally blind. So, you know, whatever level of experience you have with this, I would like to hear what you think. You'll be the asshole that's in it more for early access than feedback. That's okay, as long as you give me some feedback. That's okay. As long as you tell me when it broke, and when it was weird, and when you didn't understand, that's okay. Just don't tell your friends. Don't stream it in public, and I don't care if you feel cool accessing it early. That's totally fine. It will give you. I want you to get something out of it. You're not just doing it for me. I want the playtesters to enjoy this game. Nobody playtested this.
No, they were trying to rush this out, right? This
Definitely. Oh my God, this sucks.
Although, what about the Sega Saturn? Why was that a fail? That was a failure.
Why was the Sega Saturn a failure? I don't know why. I don't know how it fared in Japan, but in the U.S. they botched the release by putting it out right at like almost the same time as the 32X, which was an expansion of the Sega Genesis. They came out the same year, and everybody was very confused. They didn't understand which system they were supposed to buy or which games they were supposed to buy.
Oh, right. They were both made by Sega. I thought you meant they were competing.
No.
I guess they were, kinda.
Yeah, I mean, in the U.S. they were.
It feels like the 32X would have made more sense if it was like 2 years earlier.
Yes. They made a mistake. They made a big whoopsie there. I think both systems are really fascinating and cool. I'm also a fan of the Master System, but our parents were not going to buy us any of this shit.
No, not Sega. No. They would buy us Nintendo, but not Sega. They would buy us PlayStation, but not Sega.
Yeah.
Why is that?
We skipped Sega completely because it was confusing and it seemed like it was going to be too many games.
Maybe because like Sonic was really just made to compete with Mario, right?
Yeah.
Maybe our parents could like tell. They could sniff out the copycat.
Maybe. I should I'll ask our mother about it, see if she remembers. Why didn't you buy us Sonic? Why'd you buy us Mario?
Because Mario's better. It's Coca-Cola Classic versus Pepsi.
Yeah. That's just what you're gonna get.
Doesn't matter if you can't even tell the difference when you do the Pepsi challenge. Mm-hmm. You just want the red can because it's red.
I think kids my age or your age who didn't have the NES had a better chance of getting the Sega.
Yeah,
the marketing might have worked on you.
It came out in '89, I think, right? The Genesis.
The Genesis.
So it was a little early to the 16-bit.
Yeah,
era.
yeah, and if you didn't have NES, you might be like, all right, this is cool. This will be my first console.
Interesting.
But our brother was born in 1980, and he had a Nintendo. So by the time we were born, we were already on the Nintendo track in our house.
Oh man, we were indoctrinated. We were too young to even defend ourselves.
Yeah.
Sonic wasn't there to help. Michael Jackson wasn't there to rescue us.
No, Michael Jackson didn't make any Nintendo games.
No, I mean like Sega, Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, right. Right, rescuing children.
And they're like, Michael.
Michael. You say Sega of Japan.
I'm just here to rescue them. Nothing weird. No, it's not weird. It's not what you think.
No, you don't understand.
You don't understand. I was watching like an interview that like supposedly he didn't know the cameras were rolling. And like he was saying like, no, that's love. That's just love. That's like how I share love with the world. It's like you think that's love to get in bed with children. Like the interviewer was just like grilling him on it. And like he was defending it, but I don't think he thought the cameras were rolling.
Oh. Yeah. That sounds like something that would have been in that documentary that like there was a point where a documentary came out and people were like, watch this and you'll never like Michael Jackson again. And I was like, you know what? I don't need any more homework. I'm tired of homework. And I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But apparently that one convinced a lot of people that he did it.
Yeah.
And you know, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I don't need the proof one way or another about any of this. I'm not. I don't have any legal authority. I kind of.
Macaulay is in God's hands now.
Yeah. I mean, I tapped out, you know?
Yeah.
I tapped out, but I'm sure that the interview you're talking about was in that documentary, right?
Yeah, I guess. If it was like a 90-hour-long documentary about Michael Jackson, yeah.
Yeah. Every last incriminating bit on him.
But you know, his name was worth so much money once, and you know, Disney, who always takes notice of what makes and doesn't make money, they got rid of the Michael Jackson episode of The Simpsons on Disney Plus.
Oh.
And now I guess it's just like there's like a black hole there. It's like, you know, there's like floor 13 doesn't exist because superstitious people.
I mean, he wasn't credited, so he wasn't making residuals or anything from it.
That's true. He wasn't credited. But we knew it was him.
But you knew it was him.
You knew it was them.
Yeah, that's just. All right, but who owns his catalog? Does Disney own that? Are they still making
billions?
billions?
Say Michael Jackson.
No.
He owns everything.
No, he doesn't own his catalog.
Yeah, it's probably owned by like Warner Music Group or something.
Okay. All
know.
right. Well, I can guarantee you if Disney owned it, they would be exploiting it for every cent they could get.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Whoever owns it is not going to censor that. Mm-hmm. No, they're going to let it play. I mean, you know, Billie Jean is a good song. I like listening to it even now. I don't think about Michael Jackson in bed with kids when that's playing.
No. I try not to.
I'd rather not, so I don't. I guess if I, you know, said that out loud and now I think about it,
no,
having said that, it'll ruin it for me. But I don't know. Maybe the song is greater than that. It'll outlive that because, you know, there's more people than him working on it.
Yeah, I do think the songs outlive it all. It's you know.
They're pretty powerful. It's more powerful than what the person ended up being,
which is like a deeply troubled, like, you know, we've talked about this before, like
Chappelle. Well, this is a great time for me to talk about Chappelle.
Oh my God.
I just watched Half Baked. That movie is so fucking funny. I've never seen it before.
Oh, that's great.
So fucking stupid and funny. It's so good.
Yeah.
Chappelle is great in it.
Damn it.
Let me just get that for you. Oh, okay. You got it. Thanks, AI.
Yeah, thanks AI.
This game sucks.
No, he's fucking funny in it. He was on. Oh, well, hello, Wintarion. You're at Magfest, running a booth. How'd that go for you? I exhibited my game last year, but I don't know how the vibe was in the Mivs room this year. Yeah, Chappelle he opened SNL a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to be nice now. I don't know if you saw it. He's at least he's not like obsessed with trans people anymore in his act, which was like, you know, a very painful number of years that he was just like making incredibly unfunny comments about how trans people made him uncomfortable. But now he's kind of back to doing what he used to do. I think finally somebody whose opinion he valued told him that it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
It took a really long time.
You want to play?
Oh, Metal Slug. Is this Metal Slug?
Yeah.
He did, he did a very long monologue. It was like 20 minutes long. And at the end of it, he said that we're aiding genocide in Palestine and and that we need to free Palestine. So
I'm nice now.
I'm nice now. He was wearing a suit, which is like, you know, a new era for a comedian when they start to wear a suit.
That's like the Cartman special. It's like he comes to Kyle's door wearing a sweater, and Kyle's like, "That's not it," and he's like, "What's not it?" It's like, "That's not being nice. That's just wearing a nice sweater." And he's like, "I don't understand the difference."
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. He shows up in a suit, smoking his cigarette like he always is, pretending to be nice now. But, you know, he's still like, his jokes, the thing is, like, Chappelle is always punched down. He's never had a problem doing that. He, you know, so many of his jokes are about how he finds poor people annoying, right?
Well, you know, Half Baked has like a plot where he like lies to a woman the whole movie about not doing weed at all, but he's secretly selling weed. It was like the biggest drug dealer of weed.
Oh my God. The line that movie ends with is like so great.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
It's like, I love weed, but I love something more.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah, there really is nothing quite like the way Dave Chappelle says pussy. I must say, nothing has done it for me like that.
Yeah. He has another joke about pussy. He's like, hey, you want to? I'm going to the store. You want anything? He's like, yeah. Give me the thing I used to eat back in the day, pussy.
Yeah. Classic Chappelle. I mean, comedians see, yeah, I mean, we've talked about Chappelle being a tricky bitch before.
Yeah.
Right? He's in that classification. Him and Mother Brain.
Well, yeah, because we really love Mother Brain.
We love Mother Brain, but
for being a bitch,
yes,
perhaps.
Yes.
But it's hard when you know that person's trying to act like you're supposed to like them or something.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Where it's just like,
How do you get more credits? How do you insert coins?
I can't. It's okay. Go on without me.
No, but like,
here we go.
How
You can join the new mission. Oops. You can join on the new level.
But yeah, like, you know, there's jokes about prison rape in that movie. It's like they have to bail their friend out before the guy gets to him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, jokes that would not stand the test of time at all. I don't know that I can like entirely blame Chappelle for being, you know, for making the same offensive jokes that everybody was making at the time.
I mean, that movie is so fucking good. It's like there's a part where like they blow smoke in the dog's face and then the dog flies around the city and it's just like really badly composited, but it looks exactly how it should look.
Exactly how it should look, right. It should look badly composited.
The music was done by Alf Clausen, who does the Simpsons music.
Ah, cool. I didn't know that. But yeah, like it should look and feel like a video that like some guy shows you in a dorm room. Or,
yeah.
you know, the 90s equivalent of YouTube videos where everybody just like sat in a dorm room and watched a video. There's a Mr. Show sketch about that too. Like when somebody comes in your room and says, "Guys," and they've got like a videotape and they pop it into the player and it's some crazy shit. This like the Saturn is, you know, struggling to like do all this, but it's actually doing a pretty good job of it.
It's going.
It's doing okay.
I'm still chugging along, man. I'm the Saturn. You'll play me. Look how much you want me now.
That's right.
That's right. It's just like Biden.
It's just
Look
like
how
Biden.
much you want me now, Jack? Now you miss
now
me.
you miss me, don't you?
Speaking of tricky bitches, Snoop Dogg was also in that movie, and he has a great part where he just like comes up to them while they're smoking a joint and takes it from them and like smokes it, like makes love to this joint. It's beautiful. And
man, I gotta see this again. It's been a few years.
Yeah. It's from 1998. That's crazy. I had no idea that Chappelle was like fully formed as like a comedic actor by then.
Yeah.
Because I knew him from like 2004 or 5, like with Chappelle Show, right?
Right, but before that, he was just kind of like, you know, a friend of other famous comedians. He wasn't a superstar.
Yeah, I guess people just knew him from his stand-up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's another topic. Movies where like a stand-up comedian is just like a normal person, but they're still a comedian. You know, they're constantly making jokes. I realize that there's so much like realism to that like there are people like that are just like, you know, comedians in real life.
So wait, hold on. You mean that they play themselves and their job is to be a comedian?
No, not like Seinfeld, where his job is to be a comedian. I mean, he makes jokes to his friends and like the people in his life, and it's like that was a joke. Like he's always making jokes. Like he's just a comedian. I see.
Like he never stops being funny.
Yeah. He never stops being a comedian. Like, what's another example of this? Like Rodney Dangerfield in like a Rodney Dangerfield focused movie where it's just like he's not like a professional stand-up comedian in the plot, but he still acts like the comedian that he really is. And like, you know, like some very funny people in our family, they are always just on no matter what their status is as a comedian.
Right. Whether they're a pro or not, they're making their jokes.
Yeah, that's true. We have big ones and little ones.
We got little comedians running around trying to be fun. Yeah, at least working on their act.
He's made me laugh a few times.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't give up.
No, he doesn't give up, and like I think that's what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
To be a comedian, you got to be really annoying for a really long time.
Well, I always think of Howard Stern because he always says, "Look, I'm just trying to be funny." Like he admits it that he's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And it's like that. You should admit it. That's the right thing to do, especially when we're doing stuff like a podcast where not everything we say is going to be a hit.
No.
But you have to try to be funny.
You gotta try, right? If you don't go for it, then you'll never be funny. But yeah, take it from us, a couple of pros.
Well, yeah, I feel like all of us have needed to do this to survive. So Oscar is no different. It's in his blood, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he needs to do it to survive. I don't know. Completely different generation. We'll see, huh? Maybe, what I'm trying to do as his mother is just not laugh unless it's funny. But
Yeah.
like earlier today, I've been telling this kid to stop farting in front of me because he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, if you got to do that, go to the bathroom. I don't want you doing that right in front of me. And today he just I was talking to him and he got up out of his seat and he ran to the bathroom and farted. And he's like, my butt ran to the bathroom and it farted. And I cackled when he said that. So he's been trying variations on that all day.
Oh, God.
All day. I'm going to watch you play whatever this is.
This is Fantasy Zone. It's cute.
Cute.
Yeah, it's just like a really old Sega arcade shooter game.
Yeah, this is really adorable. This one doesn't have a blue sky.
No, it doesn't. Not in the Fantasy Zone, I guess.
Your daughter's in a licking phase. We had a licking phase. We thought licking was hilarious for a long time. I was actually saying today that the way the glove in the Mario Paint fly swatter, if it gets hit by a bug, it turns into a face and it goes, ah! That's the sound of your sibling licking. Yeah, no, we thought licking was so funny.
Oh, shit.
Today's your daughter's birthday. Oh, how sweet. Happy birthday. 3 is a great age. 3's great.
Yeah.
3 is when you can speak in complete sentences. And when there are complete sentences, there are conditionals. And when there are conditionals, there's negotiation. And negotiation is great. Oh my God. I love to negotiate. Love to negotiate with my son. I was on a work call the other night and he came over and he got on the camera and he's trying to be friendly and I'm like, hey buddy, I need 5 minutes. He's like, but I want to be on it. I'm like, I just need to be alone up here. You go down and I'll come tuck you in 5 minutes. And he was like, okay. And he went, and the person I was talking to has a 2-year-old right now and was like, oh man, I look forward to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a rational brain going on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is this what they call Mega Man?
Yeah. You didn't know that before?
It's one of those things I've heard, but I've never been a Mega Man guy.
No,
hard.
it's so hard. I don't really like Mega Man, but I picked this one anyway.
I feel like I know a little bit about Mega Man just because it's so significant.
He's called Rockman because it's like rock and roll.
Ah.
It's like Roll is the other robot.
I see. Cute. This is a cute little anime. I would have flipped for this if I saw this in the 90s. It looked cooler than everything on TV. Ice cream on your birthday. How special. Your birthday is such a big deal when you're that age.
Yeah.
You've had 3 and you don't remember the last 2. It's basically the first time.
I feel like I remember my second birthday a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't it McDonald's?
I mean, you definitely had a birthday at McDonald's. I don't remember if it was number 2.
Well, I think it was. I don't remember it very well. I just remember that.
It's funny, you know, like you have flashbulb memories of you know, really long
The
ago things
kangaroo
like that.
one, that's a flashbulb memory.
Yes, I like have a flashbulb memory of like the party room at McDonald's, like, and like that's all I've got, right?
Yeah, it's 1 second long.
Yeah,
it's like a video on your phone that you didn't mean to take, and now it's there forever.
Right, and it's the only memory you have of a time period.
It's like you were saying before about the ambient sounds. It's like this is like if it was on an NES, it's just like the same 1 second clip looping over.
Yes. Yeah, and you just see like a bunch of little kids sitting at a big table together.
Yeah. And they're all one big sprite.
Yeah. They're all doing the same thing at once. Eating and screaming.
All right, guys.
All
Get
right.
to the point.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to do a little Mega Man now.
All right.
Sorry, guys. I know you worked really hard on that.
Yeah, I'm also not reading that. And
We watched someone play this game at
Yeah.
MagFest,
yeah, somebody was speedrunning this.
and he was going ha 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 and just jumping the entire thing.
Was that this game or X5?
Oh, it might have been X5.
Or maybe
It looked just like
X3.
it looked just like this.
Yeah, it was the same graphics as this. Yeah, that's the sound effect. Whew.
So like they were making this just like a few years after like the NES Mega Man, right?
I guess so. Like there's the Super Nintendo Mega Mans, like 7, X, X1, and X2, and then I think this said like this is X4, right? So then like they were making like X5, X6 for the PlayStation and stuff.
I just like I can't believe how many games they were making like so quickly, and like how each one was just like this massive jump from the last one.
Well, not everyone was. I feel like there's like 7 Mega Mans for every art style.
Right, they all just like kind of
Well,
sharing the same
not
pool
Mega
of
Man
assets.
7, I guess.
Mega Man 7 was 3D, right?
No.
Oh.
Mega Man Legends was 3D.
Okay.
And then they made like Mega Man like 8 or yeah, 8 and 9, which were like back in the NES style but made in the 2010s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has there been a new Mega Man in a while?
I don't think so. I don't think they make Mega Man games as often. They made a Mega Man Maker a few years ago, and I haven't really heard anything since. There was that like that Kickstarter game by the Mega Man creator.
Right.
That was just like bad.
Huge failure.
Yeah.
That was not Capcom though.
No, that was the original guy. Not a got the guy, but a Kickstarter guy.
Yeah, Kickstarter guy. That's bad news. I mean, not always. Like, the Thimbleweed Park was a Kickstarter game, right?
What's that?
That was a game by Ron Gilbert and blanking on the other guy. Two guys. They were two of the formative adventure game guys. Worked on Maniac Mansion together.
Yeah.
And they made
Like
Thimbleweed.
Double Fine?
No, it wasn't Double Fine. Oh wait, you mean the creator?
Sorry, no, I don't know. I don't
blanking.
actually know adventure games that well.
I'm blanking, but anyway, they made Thimbleweed Park from a Kickstarter, and it was a pretty big success. Like people still talk about that game.
Okay. I mean, you know, I'm not saying you can't. It's just that like there was no reason to believe that they could, was there, with like Mighty Number 9. Like they had
Right.
some concept art, but then the game looked nothing like it. So like, you know, why
What did they show? Like, what did they have proof of concept like in the Kickstarter, or was it just concept?
It was
art?
just drawings, yeah. It was just 2D drawings that I guess they were, you know, gonna figure out later how to get it look like that.
There is no figure out later in games.
There's no later, yeah. Well, we were just talking about this before the stream started that the Hobbit movies were lousy because they didn't do post-production. They didn't do pre-production. They did everything in post.
Everything in post
with a green screen.
It's a very bad idea.
It's like there's a picture of Ian McKellen crying because this is not why I became an actor. He's
So,
just like in a green room, an entirely green screened room with just like him and tennis balls on a stick to talk to.
Yeah, talking to tennis balls. Yeah, very depressing. But I mean, I don't know what the, like, you know, the process with a game is pretty different, but like concept art is like basically nothing. And,
Yeah.
And a tech demo is barely anything, and they didn't even have that.
Yeah, and when people saw what it looked like, they were really disappointed, and then the game wasn't even done for like 5 more years.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the people who got the game were like, it's bad. Like, you know, it's as bad as you
Right.
thought.
It was as bad as you thought. I mean, I think like video games have to be like the form where the most debilitating surprises happen.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have like, you know, sample footage or sample passages from a book, sample pages of a comic or whatever, what you see is what you get, right? With video games, you don't have the thing until you have the playable game. And you don't have that until you're like much of the way through the game. That's why people say that there's some turn of phrase that's like, you know, to make a game, you make the first 80% of it, and then you make the last 80% of it, like like basically like that, where like you don't even know how much game there is until you get 80% of the way through, and then there's so much more. And then a lot of the time at that point, you find out that the game's not even fun to play. Nobody likes it, and you've already made it. You had to make it to find out, and that's when, you know, the entire game changes.
Oh shit.
So like scope lock or whatever you want to call it, like, you know, where you lock down the feature lock, no more new features, is very hard to achieve. And the you know, expectations are high, so it's very easy to not even want to finish. I was looking at something today. It was a game developer who made a game called Cart Life, and there was like an original prototype or something that people just loved so much, and he was trying to make a new version of the game, and I guess all of his collaborators eventually dropped out, and he was the last one, and he was holding on to hope that he could finish this game for so many years. And very recently, he deleted his entire body of work from the internet, and just erased all evidence of his existence on the internet. And that was after making like a few very dispirited posts on the Steam community forum for his game.
Shit.
And the way he went out calls into, you know, very concerningly into question whether he's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. But the way he talked about his heartbreak of his endless hope and his heartbreak over how impossible it would ever be to finish this game. It really, really got to me. It was hard to see.
Yeah.
And I don't know that people feel quite that overwhelmed with the process of other media. I think games are sort of uniquely impossible seeming.
Yeah.
Cartlife, you say it's a broken masterpiece.
Yeah.
That's very tragic. I hope he's okay. It sounds like not completing this game is the thing that broke him, that made his life seem not worth living. I hope he's okay. He's always seemed like things have been hard for him. Yeah. Well, it sounds like he made something really beautiful, but he just couldn't, like, either it wasn't possible, like, just in terms of resources and, like what he had, or he was just too frustrated with the ability to match the thing that he imagined. I don't know. I think, like, what makes video games so intriguing and so magical to me is also the thing that makes them often impossible to finish. And there are so many stories like this of people who have the most beautiful dream.
Yeah.
and
nobody's playing it.
Nobody's playing it? Or yeah, right. I'm talking about people who have nothing to show for it. There are people who create their beautiful dream and nobody plays it. I mean, every last one of them is a beautiful dream. And I follow a guy, Dominic Terrason, whose whole thing is that he keeps track of new games, and he can't keep track. Like, he plays so many and pays attention to so many.
Yeah.
And then, he'll talk about how overwhelmed he is, about how many fell through the cracks. I mean, there's just, there's too many being released, and not enough curation for us to ever pay attention to all the beautiful dreams that people have. And maybe that's why we take comfort in old games, because there was a time when you could actually quantify how many games came out per year.
It seemed like it was so easy to make 100 Mega Man games back then, and now they can't. With $1 million, they can't make a new one.
Yeah. He didn't have a publisher. No, I think that was part of the problem, was that he did have a publisher. He had some sort of publishing agreement, and that was part of the reason that he couldn't continue the game.
Oh.
And, his fans were basically begging him to release what he has, but that sounds right, doesn't it? Release what you have. But that's not really how it works. The thing is, maybe 75% complete only when it's in the hands of the person who's making it. It's not 75% complete to you.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're not going to be able to play it without them like butting in and taking over the keyboard and being like, don't touch that, and like typing something in to warp you to the next place you're supposed to go, but it's not finished.
Yeah. Because it's still a broken version of your idea. It's totally broken until it's I think I'm getting pretty close to being able to die and my game would still come out. I'm almost at that place now. I think if I can live another like 3 months, if I die, somebody can finish my game for me. But like, it takes a very, very long time to be there.
Yeah.
And until you're there, it's not even the thing that you want people to receive. It's not that at all. Like, it's so far from that until you have worked out something fundamental about it.
Man, it's like with the CDI, they just have to have all these voice clips to show off the new technology.
Yeah, I know.
Saturn thinks it's better than the CDI, but they still sit together at lunch.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they're doing the same thing. They're showing off the tech.
You know, the Nintendo PlayStation sits there too.
Yeah. Right. They're
literally just a PlayStation, but it's geeky because it's Nintendo.
Yeah, their Final Fantasy VI 3D battle that they showed off at whatever the hell show.
Yeah, like Space World, I guess, or E3. Mm-hmm. Remember E3? Have you met anyone who's ever been to E3?
Yeah, but they're older than me.
Yeah.
There was at MagFest a panel that I did not get into. We couldn't get into it. It was absolutely jam-packed with people who wanted to see basically a role-playing of E3 2010. We did not get into that. Everyone wanted to see that. Blaisdell says, I always found it interesting how video games seem like these impossible things to make, considering how much go into them and often end up in disaster or abandonment, yet there's so many more games made by smaller teams compared to film or TV. I guess that's because you just have easier access to the tools to develop games, right? To make film, you need to have, up until very recently, you needed to have a camera. And, I mean, I guess, you know, if you compare it to like YouTube videos, there's not much of a difference, right? Like, you're talking about like feature films. You can make a video game that's 3 minutes long. So if you compare it to just video content, I think you'd find they're pretty similar. CDI couldn't run virtual hide-lide, but the game could only come to be in a world where the CDI is a thing. I like that. Yeah. No, the CDI, I really do think the CDI was significant.
Yeah.
In ways that people don't give it credit for because the games were bad. Now, this we played on PlayStation, right? Or was it Dreamcast?
Yeah, PlayStation.
Looks so dope on here.
It's slower though.
Yeah.
It's having a hard time running it.
I love this intro. Why are they letting Morrigan be a nurse? That's not a good idea. Oh, man.
What, you wouldn't let her ruin your life with a vaccine that turns you into a robot?
Oh, wait. I'm thinking of the other game. I'm thinking of Puzzle Fighter.
That's Marvel versus Capcom.
Damn it.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, let's go to the bar. Da, da, da. Wait, is that also Puzzle Fighter?
No, that's... Yeah, that's this.
Da, 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 da. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, unlike the Super Nintendo and Genesis, this doesn't differ that much from the PlayStation one. It like sounds exactly the same.
Ah, Mega Man. How about that? Yeah, this is pretty similar.
I think the PlayStation's a little more powerful, but it's running the game pretty okay.
Yeah, it's doing okay.
But yeah, it's significant because then, like, just a few years later, the PlayStation 2 became the top-selling console ever, and one of the things it did was play DVDs. So yeah, they were onto something with It Play CDs.
Yeah. They just weren't, yeah, the world wasn't ready for it
You
yet.
gotta lateral think about things. It's true. When the world isn't ready for it, it becomes garbage. And when it becomes garbage, the scavengers pick it out of the garbage and they turn it into something magical somehow because they had some sort of vision for it. Like Gunpei Yokoi, who created the Game Boy and the Game & Watch from old, cheap, easy to obtain calculators.
Right. Withered tech.
Yeah, withered tech.
Withered tech. I mean, I feel like that's all I'm interested in. I make games in a very old engine. But
yeah.
it makes sense to me, you know? And when you use the tools that make sense to you, you're going to make something very confident in them.
Yeah.
See, this is what Zang Beef needs to look like. This is how I want him to look.
Yeah, he's exaggerated here. So it's like literally the opposite on the other side of the spectrum is the other game where it's just like a physically accurate human photograph.
Yes.
Trying to look like Zangief, but falling short because he's not ridiculously exaggerated. He has like tiny little legs here.
Yeah. Flexing his little pecs.
Well, I guess I was never a good enough artist to make never good enough at drawing to make things without exaggerating like that.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to work on Street Fighter, but I would work on Pocket Fighter because I can draw that.
Yeah. And, we've talked about this many times that, like, the exaggeration ends up being realer than the realness.
Oh, yeah. Like at Disney World.
Oh,
the
yeah.
simulacrum.
Yep. Absolutely. Like, here, you can really appreciate...
That was new.
Yeah, that's great. Here you can really appreciate the musculature of these characters.
Yeah.
Because they're not real.
Well, yeah, like I can do that and look completely different too.
Yep.
Well, yeah, like them being real is kind of weird. I guess I always like Street Fighter more than Mortal Kombat because, drawings as opposed to photos.
If I can get it going, next week maybe we could play Street Fighter on Commodore.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be cool.
I think I will be able to, everybody. You got all my Pocket Fighter gems.
Gemmies.
I keep doing the taunt, damn it. It's right there. It's like an action button.
Oh, how do you throw bombs?
I don't know. But yeah, I'll try and get a Commodore up and running next week if my capture tech can work. I recently received a Commodore 64 for the holidays.
Yeah.
And it is, it's so beautiful. It's breathtaking. I hope I can share it. It's just, it's exactly like the one I had when I was a kid. And it causes me pain with how beautiful it is. So hopefully I can get that going.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. Looks like it wasn't used too hard.
No, it wasn't used by a family of children.
Who passed it down.
Yep.
And didn't want it, and now you want it.
Now I want
Now
it.
you want me, Jack. I see how it is. Don't worry, I can run again. You just gotta write out the command for run.
Yeah, that's right. Just write run. Just write load. Quote.
You know the thing, man.
Star, comma 8, comma 1, Jack.
This is like something you do when you're a kid to your sibling.
Oh, yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
like tired, yawn at.
Yeah, yeah, just being annoying. Just like, oops. Yeah, annoying. Well, we're almost at the end of the program tonight. Anything else you want to talk about real quick?
Let me check my notes. What did I have written down? Let's see.
Dan's pathetic.
So we got some weed when we were in DC.
Uh-huh.
And you know, like I went to a coffee shop after smoking some of it, and they asked if I wanted hot sauce or maple syrup, and I said yes. I was like, oh shit, I better read that label.
Hot sauce or maple syrup. Where were we? Was I there for that?
No, you weren't there.
I see.
Although we've been talking about that a lot, how like Meredith forgets that I'm like there for a lot of parts of her life, and like she's like telling me the story, and I'm like Mater from Cars, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was there. Don't you remember?
I'll be like, what? You were there for that significant memory I have?
Oh yeah, I was there. Don't you remember? Like this is like the opposite of what Artie does, where he's like, you don't remember that? And no, I don't.
No, you weren't born.
I was like 2.
Right.
So, you know, I remember one frame of my second birthday. So like the things that my older brother, who was 10 when I was 2, remembers are better.
Yes.
He's got a better memory of the 80s, which I barely experienced.
Barely lived through, yes. Even your birthday party was in the 90s.
Although I still would like to take some of that as my personal aesthetic, that 1990 stuff, like the Larry Sanders Show.
Oh yeah, we're always reaching for what's just out of our reach.
Yeah, what's just out of our reach. That's a Thingus.
Yeah, no, I mean for me that was like, you know, Nintendo and like 90s indie rock and stuff. I was just like, yeah, that was me. I was alive. I was cool when that was a thing. I was not a baby.
Yeah, I'm from America. I can go to a Native American powwow.
Oh my god.
I do want to do that.
That would be fun.
Kind of like what MagFest is, right? Kind of like a powwow.
So yeah, it's a powwow for the Dorcases among us. the most hopelessly dorkified.
The dorkiful, the proud and the dorcasy.
Yes. And they're looking to have fun for the very first time.
Yeah.
I feel like I was explaining that to somebody else this year, with like defending the people at MagFest. We're just like, they just laugh so loud and they sound like teenagers when they're drunk, but they're like 30 years old. And I'm like, that's right. They're 30-year-olds who are having fun for the first time. It's fun for the very first time. It's fun for the very first time.
30-year-olds doing drugs for the very first time, getting drunk for the very first time, having sex for the getting fucked for the very first time. They may have not gotten that back in the 2010s, but that doesn't mean that they cannot try again. They might even be successful this time, or at least they'll see some thigh.
Or get some weed from some guy.
Oh yeah. MagFest, you know, we mentioned great reasons why MagFest is fun, but we didn't even mention that there's hot naked women everywhere. They're naked.
They're pretty much naked, which brought me to the conclusion that I am going to be Tifa next year. I've decided, after careful consideration, that I will be Tifa next year at MagFest. I'm going to train all year for this.
You know, I was gonna ask if you wanted to do a costume with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
You'd be Mario and I'd be Luigi.
Oh, well, that would be all right. That'd be fun. Okay,
That'd be fun, right?
If Tifa doesn't work out, then let's do it. But I'm pretty serious about Tifa.
I
as
mean,
of
you
January.
could bring 2 costumes. I was thinking about bringing 2 costumes. I want to be Bender.
Right, you were talking about how Bender would be a great costume.
Yeah, I want to go as Bender, but I also would love to be Mario Luigi.
Kick.
Well, because, like, I follow you everywhere, like Luigi.
I'm like, just listen up, Luigi. I'll tell you how it is. No, I don't want to be Aerith. No. I felt
not
like
you.
I felt like Aerith when I was young. Now I'm strong. I want to be Tifa.
Yeah, you're strong. You have muscles.
I'm strong. I saw someone with real good muscles being Tifa.
Uh-huh.
I saw a very swole Tifa, and it made me jelly. I wanted to get I wanted to get swole like. Well, I am swole, but I really need to just lean out a bit and get a really good wig.
Well, I suppose I think that's pretty cool. That like I've seen swole cosplayers, but I feel like I can tell when those people are like professional, like dresser uppers.
Right, and not like a video game developer comic artist who wants to dress like well, that's the other thing. I want to just
who's like a little embarrassed of what she likes.
Oh, absolutely.
But not at MagFest.
Well, yeah, because I never use my body as like the thing that I'm exhibiting to other people. That is never crossed over.
Just t-shirts that say PlayStation and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, exactly. Just brand names. Take your eye off me and just look at the brand that I like. Very defensive.
But Tifa's muscles are clearly showing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you have to use your own muscles to be her.
Absolutely. And I have to put myself on display. Not my brain. Not my brain. I have to put my own beauty on display.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like it is a very different kind of exhibition, right?
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of vulnerability than I'm used to.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even wear a costume, but I felt a little vulnerable carrying that dog.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, this dog is basically my, like, ID.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your real ID.
It's my wallet, too, because this is where all my money is going to come from.
That's right. Yeah, you're wearing it on the outside of your body.
Yeah, I felt like it was an exhibition, absolutely. I was like thinking about that music from Twin Peaks.
Turn to bones.
I was like thinking about that music from Twin Peaks while walking around with that thing, like I'm a dirty little bitch. It's like, you want to buy this? You do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of like, it would be refreshing, I think, to just be like, you don't need to know anything about me except the costume that I'm wearing.
Yeah, like great Tifa.
Yeah,
Are you on OnlyFans?
Yeah, no, exactly. And be like, no, I'm actually a genius in other ways. Oh, man, I wish I had done that to you. All right, I think we should call it a night. Yeah, next week, come on back for possibly Commodore 64, or if I can't get that to work, I guess we've got plenty more Saturn we could be playing through. But either way, we'll be back same time next Wednesday. You got something there?
Nah, not really.
No, let's call it a night.
Wait, one last thing. Antiques are everywhere.
Antiques are everywhere. I mean, yeah, that's true. What made you think that, though?
We saw a very old-looking intercom when we were at the train station.
That's
and we were
right.
talking about it.
That's right. Yeah, because, like, you know, you go to MagFest, obviously, there's antiques on display.
Those
there.
were great.
Yes.
Playing Minesweeper and shit on
Yes.
an old computer.
But you're
with
right.
no scroll wheel.
Oh, yeah, no, that was beautiful. Playing just regular old ass fucking Minesweeper with no ads.
No ads. Yeah.
No try again. For if you watch an ad, you can try again.
Just good old wholesome cancer-causing CRT screens.
That's right. That's right. It was beautiful. But you're right. Antiques are everywhere. We were in the train station at Philadelphia, 30th
Yeah.
Street, and there's just an intercom there that's got to be like 100 years old.
Yeah, and nobody thinks about it. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. But it's true, and you know, like there's like people like the guys at MagFest who preserve these things, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the person who nearby us who like collects old cars. And it's like, whoa, a car from the 90s.
Yeah. No,
We're talking about the stuff that's just there.
it's just there
still
because no
there.
one's paying attention.
Well, it might still be in use, and it's still good, right?
Yeah, it's
there are
right.
some things that are still good, like God, I mean, like how old are the sidewalks in your neighborhood? They're probably like 50 years old, right?
I mean, they get opened up and repaved pretty often with.
But what about the ones that are just like full of tree roots and you don't even think about it? You just walk over them.
Just walk over
They're
them.
everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the houses are old. Like my house, this house is over 100 years old.
Yeah, that's one of those antiques that's everywhere.
It's an antique. It's just here.
Yeah.
It works fine. It works fine.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, if it's still good, then you know it's one of those if it ain't broke things.
Yeah. I mean, I do often wonder, like, if we stopped making all this new shit and everybody just had like a basic know-how for how to like replace parts and repair things, like, I don't know, we wouldn't be too bad off, would we?
Well, I don't know, because you know when I think about like VHS and DVD, I feel like we're probably just like leaving that in the past. We're not going to keep making VHS tapes, are we?
We're not. But like, everybody said that VHS tapes were going to degrade and be unwatchable by
Yeah.
now. I popped those Commodore discs into the drive and they weren't working, and I was absolutely certain that they were completely degraded. And then Mike did a little fuckery with the BIOS and fixed it, and every single one of them works.
Interesting.
It's so lovely. And
So you can rely on magnetic tape.
yeah, at least for now, for a while. I do love that, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what else I can uncover with that old tech. I feel like, you know, there's more treasure than we know.
Yeah. Well, you know, we remark at the people who have preserved their game so well, but maybe those people just play it all the time, and it's been part of their daily lives for so long that they don't even think about it. They just like still use it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I mean, I guess stuff like TVs burn out and you need to like find them online, but like, you know, you do have to kind of play these games on these TVs for them to work properly.
Yeah, you do. But there are quite a few of these TVs sitting around not being played.
Yeah.
And these games are sitting in their in a basement, waiting to come to life.
These things were behind glass shelves.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants them now.
Nobody wants them
But
now.
they are still good, even though they're not like new or anything.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you next week.